Yeah, like, I have a job. Again, this is part of the ranting video. This is definitely a guy who hasn't slept who's talking about a filter, which, you know, but I think it's good to talk about filters. Just looking again for the spots that I miss because I can't focus. I have a job where I have to go multiple times a day. Well, I have two part-time jobs where I have to go when I work multiple times a day to a location, and one of the locations where I work was 40 minutes by bicycle, and I was like, oh yeah, I can handle that, you know, it'll be good because I'm out of shape, do more exercise. I tried it for a few weeks, and honestly, the exercise wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, it was good to get, you know, of course I had to get used to it, and it wasn't easy at first, but the part that was easier, the hardest, was the bike seat was really hurting my bum, and I actually changed the seat to a softer seat because I knew it could be a problem, even with a more cushiony, ugly seat that I got. Yeah, I was just getting sore from hitting the same bump all the time. For doing that distance, 40 minutes one way, and then 40 minutes the way back, and then 40 minutes to go, and then 40 minutes to come back again, for multiple days in a row. I decided to actually pay for the metro for part of the way, so now I bike to the metro for a little bit, and then actually I've left a bicycle at the metro station, which I take for the rest of the way back. So, like most people in Copenhagen, have more than one bicycle. Actually, I have 4 bicycles, because I always like to have a backup in case the backup, you know, gets a flat tire or something. And, I don't know, bicycle's really part of my life. It was before I moved here. I would even bike in winter because I'm a bit crazy. Wearing ski goggles and had winter tires and stuff. And it was, you know, it took like half an hour to get dressed to go outside to bike for 15 minutes, but it was fun. Even if it was dangerous. Here, Copenhagen and Malmö, Sweden have this sort of magical bubble where it doesn't snow a lot. It gets cold, but nothing from where I'm compared to minus 20, minus 10, to here where it's minus, you know, 2 maximum. It's like 5 and 7 degrees, and you know, more rain here, but it's just more cloudy, and you know, the weather's more random, but there's no extremes. It's sort of like mild winters and colder summers with no extreme heat with humidity like there is in Montreal and Ottawa, where I'm from. It doesn't compare. Moderate, calm people with moderate weather. It's really nice. Definitely makes it a lot easier to have biking infrastructure everywhere. With you don't spend most of your costs on taking the snow away, compared to other cities where I've lived in the past. Of course, this would be different if I was living in a different part of, let's say, of Sweden or Norway. Then there would be like, you know, actual winter. But Copenhagen, Denmark, and Malmö, Sweden have this special sort of current that makes, you know, you get maybe like 2 weeks of, maybe if you count all the week, maybe 2-3 weeks of snow on and off, and that's about it. And then when it does snow, often it's the kind of snow that sort of like hits the ground and melts, and then it's gone. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely. I mean, you know, people here love to complain about the weather, but coming from Canada, compared to here, so nice. My wife just turned 29, and whenever I take a bad picture of her, she just, you know, kind of insecure. I mean, everybody likes to have a better picture of themselves online or something than an unflattering one with a bad angle. But as I get older, in my 30s, I care a lot less about this, and I find this to be very, very soothing. When I think back about even 29 or let's say 25, if I go back, image is much more important, and it sort of consumes a big part of your life, which I guess is totally normal. It's something. If you even go further back to when you're like a teenager, then it's there's so much insecurity, and it's sort of progressively as you get older, it gets better. I was lucky to have good skin when I was a teenager. I didn't have like giant breakouts like some of my friends. Just their faces exploded. And, it's the time where you feel the most insecure about your body, and the time where your body just changes your voice when you're a teenager and fucks with you. Then you get a little more confident in your 20s. And for me, I'm still feel more confident as in my late 30s. 33, 34. I started giving a lot less of a shit. The one thing I did hide for too long was the fact that I was going bald by wearing a hat all the time. It still bothers me, but less and less kind of thing. So that's something that's nice about getting older. I don't want to say just negative stuff, because this whole video's been kind of like one big bummer. Like I said, it's just a video about me ranting, and I'm bad at making videos, and I'm bad at having a specific subject. I've made those biking videos a while back. Now my GoPro battery won't stay charged. And I figured it would just make this kind of video for now, because why not? I'm just wondering, there's got to be other people, for example, even if it's not Denmark, or who have moved to a different country for school or for work and are having trouble to adjust. So I just wanted to kind of throw it out there that I'm sure these feelings I'm having, at least some of them, other people are probably having them too. I assume. And know that you're not alone, and that I still think things are slowly getting better, even if it's a different culture and a different attitude. And I will make sure that they keep on getting better. Or if it cannot, then I'll make sure to find another solution. It was my mom's birthday this week that just passed, and I wanted to give my mom a present because I'm far away. I was hoping she could come here, but it wasn't possible for her to come all the way here for her birthday. My sister wanted to spend time with her, obviously, as well. And I ordered flowers from a flower shop in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, where my mom lives. And there was only a few in Ottawa that would do online delivery. So I ordered the flowers, and my mom was home with my dad all day, and they weren't coming, and I was getting very frustrated, and I ended up being very angry, and I ended up arguing for my wife and being a dick, basically, for something that had nothing to do with her, and I felt really bad about that. I feel like sometimes these days I'm just turning into a grumpy old man. I don't know why. But it's not okay. It's something that I definitely have to work on. But I just felt so far away. My phone plan, it's only for local calls in Denmark, so I usually talk to my family by video chat on the internet, because it's cheaper, and I get to see them at the same time. So I couldn't call the flower shop, and they wouldn't respond to my email, and I thought for most of the day I wanted it to be a surprise, because I've been sort of an inconsiderate son in the past, and I was just trying to do something nice for my mom. And I have to thank my wife for helping me, by the way, through this time where I wasn't able to work, and she's been supporting me for 6 months when Denmark wouldn't let me work. She's been there for me the whole time, so it's not okay for me to get angry at something that she has nothing to do with. And yeah, that's just something I to stop doing, basically. But I just felt vulnerable because there was nothing I could do to control the situation, and the only way I could do something about it was by getting my father or my sister involved and having to call the flower shop for me because I couldn't do it, so I had to rely on others. And then my mother and my family were going somewhere else, which I didn't know. But I mean, it's not surprising, but still, it was the end of the day. It was past the business hours of the flower shop, and the flowers still hadn't came. And I'm guessing maybe the person who works there also delivers, because it's a small flower store, maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't have the chance to ask yet. But it just, for the first time, I really felt like it was far away, and there's nothing I could do to fix the situation. And I felt powerless, and I really didn't like that feeling. My parents are lovely people, and my mom is a giver, and I just want her to be happy on her birthday. Like I said before in the video, I'm a really bad communicator. I really want to talk to my sister, Julie. If you're listening to this video by any chance and you've gotten this far, we have to do more video chats. We both keep saying that we're going to do it, and we both don't do it. I know this is more my fault than yours, obviously, because I'm the one who's bad at talking, and you are able to talk to mom and your friends every day, so it's something that I definitely need to improve as well, and I'm really sorry. Now I'm going to completely switch the subject. Like I said, I've been, sometimes financially it's been tight for me and my wife, because now she has me to support, and now I'm working more, so things are getting for the better right now. But I used this thing called the Reisekort. It's like our travel card for the metro and the trains in Copenhagen. I put money on it. And there's zones on the metro and on the train. If you go a certain amount of zones, they charge you a certain amount. But sometimes at the end of the month, before the next pay, I'm running low on cash. But I have, for example, what happened to me today was I had 70 kroners that I wanted to put on the card until I get my next pay. Because next month, for the first time, I'm going to get like a monthly card, because I don't want to get fines. When I first moved to Denmark, I got multiple fines for not understanding how the metro worked, and I've been good recently. I've been very careful to make sure that doesn't happen again. For example, I work 3 zones away, and it usually costs me 13 to 17 Danish crowns to get there, and then the same amount to come back. And if I had put that amount that I wanted to put, the 61, I could go to work and come back. But because I didn't have 100 crowns, I couldn't put the money on the card, which is very frustrating. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you need to have at least 50 crowns to travel on your card, minimum for the card to scan for you to get on the train. I believe it's 50. So I don't understand why you can't put an amount that is over the minimum. Of course, it's about money, but it's also about trapping people who are the poorest. Of course, it's possible to also get a ticket to go exactly to one destination, but then you have to go to the second floor of the metro and purchase an individual ticket one way, and then you have to, on the way back, get another ticket, which is fine. But if you're in a rush, it's not the most convenient method to travel around. Anyways, that's just my rant about transportation and how when you're a bit poor and trying to be an honest person, how this system is actually punishing you.